Hi there YouTube, Extreme Trains here. In this video we're taking a look at another one of the diecast slash metal engine slash push along locomotives from the All Engines Go range. In this one it's a bit of a different one. It is Emily, who's different because she has a very unique design compared to the other engines. And the way that design has been handled in different merchandising ranges has been mixed. For example, in some of the previous versions of this line, was very, very poor, and that goes for Trackmaster as well. But I'm curious to see how they've handled her in this line, given how much it's increased its detail levels. Let's see if they've actually managed to do it with this engine here. So what are we waiting for? Let's do it. Really quick look at Emily's packaging. Again, it's very standard for the Thomas metal engine line. I don't think there's really anything special to say here. Obviously got two names on the front, some more names on the back, lots of different languages, but otherwise that's all we've got here. So let's open her up and take a look. Okay, here she is out of her packaging. So let's do a quick spin around before we have a closer look. So the first thing to note is, firstly, lots of detail on this one. If we start with her face, which I think is fine for an AEG Emily face, but if we look at the detail here, you can see they printed the running board color, like the plastic color is brown. Fair enough. They printed the red on here, and then they printed the black over the red. That is unheard of for Mattel to do those kind of things. So impressive. I will give them credit where credit is due. If we come around to the side, you can see she's quite squished. Her proportions are quite smushed up compared to in the actual show and also in real life, but that is okay. But she does retain an accurate wheel configuration, so that's kind of cool, I suppose. The big feature which people have been talking about is this big center wheel, and I can confirm it does turn. An interesting thing to note is, as you'll see, it's got the little bit on it, like the little bit that Thomas has, like the motion bit. I don't know, the motion animation, I don't know how to describe that, which is weird because none of the other engines have that, and she doesn't even have it on her other wheels, which if you look in the light you can see they are very scratched and scuffed up. But yeah, it's interesting. It seems like they spin together, like they're not separate pieces, so I think this whole big center wheel thing might actually be a single piece of plastic that's like inserted in during the manufacturing process, which would explain how they've done it. But yes, they have gone to the effort of not only making a giant wheel, but the giant wheel also like disappears behind this. So if you ask me, that is very, very impressive. Not something we've seen on some of the other versions of Emily, and not something we've ever seen with that level of detail. So that's very, very cool. I'm quite impressed about that. In terms of the detailing, the rest of it is relatively basic. A couple of little handrails here. We've got the detailing for the whistle and the safety valve. Even Thomas Wooden Railway doesn't have the whistle there. You can see again, there's a bit of weirdness where the lines, the printing lines obviously overlap, but okay, better to not have it. Better to have it than not have it at all. Like that we've got the chocolate printing along here. It's a bit naffily applied, but that's okay. Come around to the back. Again, we got the buffer details with the red and the black and the brown, so kudos to that. Nothing in the cab, which is similar to what James and Hero have, but nice to see that she does have the portholes there, which the other engines didn't have, which was quite impressive. Yeah, so overall, I think they've done quite a good job here with Emily. The front half of her is looking very good. Let's take a quick look at the tender then. This looks very unfortunate with the brown, and it seems like this is a different style of doing the tender. Let me show you for a comparison. If I get James's tender here, you can see here that this like having the big gaps thing is not present on James's tender. I think that looks much cleaner. This looks weird having the brown go through. You can also see they didn't bother to do the buffer detailing or anything on the tender. We've just got brown for a running board, is what it is. Relatively nice detailing on the side here. We've got the number 12, that's good. Coal, this here, again, we've captured that raised shape that the Thomas Wooden Railway version didn't. There's also this on the back. Is this meant to be a lamp? Don't know. So again, in some aspects, doing quite well. And then we've just got the little wheels here on the side. If we put them all together, you'll see here that Emily actually looks quite good. If we bring her in for a comparison with Thomas from the same line, I mean, obviously, as some people have described, the actual size in the show is more like if you have the push-alongs with the motorized engines. But, you know, I have no desire to get the motorized engines, so that is what it is. And then if we compare her with James, I think she looks pretty good. I mean, they're broadly a similar size. I think their wheelbases are almost exactly the same, but she does have a custom one versus some of the other engines. But you can see here her face is substantially larger than James's, and her body is quite a bit wider too. But yeah, I think this Emily is a pretty good addition to the push-along collection. If you're someone who likes to collect them, I think Emily will keep you quite happy. She's very well detailed, has that unique wheel, which is unlike almost any Emily model ever, except for the, you know, proper Bachmann model versions. And I think, yeah, it's quite impressive to see that they are taking seriously these toys again and making ones which do look like they do in the show. So, in terms of a price, I paid the standard Australian price for these, which is $12. Is this a $12 toy? Don't know, but I'll leave that up to the viewers to decide. Compare quickly though, would you rather this Emily for $12 or this Emily for $40, which is how much I paid for it? Yeah, I think it's an interesting thing to think about, an interesting comparison to make. And on that note, I will leave you all there. Thank you very much for watching. That's all we've got time for. It's Extreme Trains.